Okay, we're going to get our canner out now. Hey garden maters, welcome to Corner Homestead. So today I am back in here in the kitchen as usual, and I am getting ready to do some canning. I need to can up some of my tomatoes. Now I know I said if you watched my video back when I was freezing the tomatoes, I usually do not can them until end of September, early October. Problem is I have gotten so many of them this year, not that it's really a problem, but my freezer is starting to fill up and I need to make some room to get them out of there and be ready for more yet to come. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and can the tomatoes today, the ones I want to do in their whole state. So I just got a bunch of the tomatoes out of my freezer and I'm getting ready to get those canned. I'll be using my pressure canning pot, but I'm going to use it as a water bath today. So I've taken the seal out of my pressure canning pot so that the lid will just fit on as a regular lid. So normally my tomatoes would sit in the sink and just thaw out before I canned them. Just want to get them done pretty quick today, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them into a pot. I've done this before in the past too, and they always work very well. I'm going to put them in a pot, put them on a very, very low fire, just enough to heat it up inside and get the tomatoes to thaw. Once they're thawed, we're going to turn it right off and go ahead and get them canned up. So let's get started. This is the pot that I'm putting all of my tomatoes in. So I'm just going to put a lid on this. I have a very, very little bit of water in the bottom. I'm not sure if you can even see it, but it's very little bit because the tomatoes also are frozen. They get their own juice in there, so you don't really need much. Put the lid on, set this on a very low fire, and just get them to thaw. And in the meantime, I have this pot of water I'm going to be heating up because I have all of these tomatoes here yet that I have to blanch and peel. Still have more here that I've got to put into the pot. So I'm going to be blanching and peeling. Once I blanch them and peel them, I'm just going to add them back into this pot. We're going to get everything canned up. Get this filled up. As you can see, took out that's what it's going to do when the seal is out of it. So I'm going to fill it up with water, start getting it hot for my canning. Get everything going. So all the tomatoes are now thawed out. That is how much juice came out of them. These are the ones I've just blanched and peeled. Now we're going to get everything canned up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start putting the tomatoes in. Just going to get in as many as I can in each jar. Now normally, if you don't have a lot of juice, you would just fill the jars with hot water. I have a lot of juice in these tomatoes that were thawed, so I don't think we're going to have a problem with anything with these. So here's the ones that I just peeled, and you can see the juice is not existent. Okay, so these are the ones, of course, that have the juice. I'm going to debubble. And then I can probably fit in maybe one or two more. I'm not sure. And yes, I am using my silicone spurtle. The water level is perfect for these. For this jar that like I said, the ones that we defrosted from the freezer, it's going to have all that wonderful tomato juice to it. So this is perfect. Now these that I have just done are the ones that we're going to have to add some juice to it. And there's plenty in this pot, so there's not like I'm at a shortage for juice. So now I'll debubble. Try and get all the way down into there to debubble them very well. So I'll tell you this story. Keep you entertained. I made spaghetti sauce one time and I did not debubble them correctly. And every single jar exploded on me. Every one. All over my basement. So when I do any tomatoes now, or tomato spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce, whatever, I take time and debubble them things very, very well. Of course, I have my paper towel that has been dipped in vinegar, and I'm going to clean the edges extremely well. Now these jars, before I started, they were cold. The tomatoes are lukewarm. You can see I can touch them. So we're just going to make sure that everything is cleaned extremely well, because with it being tomato, you know what kind of mess that can make. And I'm going to put on my lids. I'm going to put on my bands. Of course, I'm just doing them like finger tight. And now they will go into the canner. So I've got 3 more jars here ready. I'm going to go ahead and get these filled up, and then we'll get them all done and into the canner. Okay, I've got all 7 jars ready for the canner. I'm just going to put them in. That's my teapot in case you're hearing it, because I may be needing a little extra hot water. But I'm thinking it's going to be perfect. I don't think I'm going to need it, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Yep, I'm not going to need the extra hot water. If anything, I may have to take some out of this pot. Oops. Yep, I'm going to have to drain some out to get that last jar in. There we go. Okay, so I have it completely loaded with all 7 quarts. I am using quart jars if I didn't already say that. I don't think I did. So I have the water 1 inch above the jars, like you would do with hot water bath canning. So with this lid, again, the seal is removed, and I'm just going to set it on like that. Not going to lock it, try to lock it in or anything like that. We're just going to put it there. Okay, so I'm going to get it to come back to a boil. As soon as it boils, you only need to really process it for 10 minutes. 10 minutes processing time. I usually let it go between 15 and 20 minutes. Why? No reason, really. No reason whatsoever. Just something that I've always done. So 10 to 20 minutes, and we can take them out. So it's been going for 10 minutes at the boil. Little problem with this pot is that the water is seeping out because I had it so high in there, but it'll be fine. So I'm going to get ready and turn it off and take the jars out. And hopefully, like every other year, everything will be fine. I've never had a problem yet, but it's always first time for everything, right? Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, we're going to get our canner out now. We're going to get the tomatoes out of the canner. It's time. Well, they look very good. There we have our number 7. So there we have our 7 quarts of tomatoes. They look beautiful. The only problem I saw, I don't know my own strength. So again, these are my fake eggs. This one here is a little dented up. You can probably see it if I go sideways. This is caused by when you tighten the lids a little too tight before you put them into the canner, whether it be water bath or pressure can. But as you may have seen in some of my past videos, I have had this happen many, many times. 90% of the time it will correct itself as it cools. It will seal itself down and you'll have no problems, no issues. If it does not seal for some reason tomorrow, for any reason whatsoever, you would just put this in the refrigerator and you would use that first. So we'll have a peek at them tomorrow after they're cooled. Give that one a triple check and we'll be back then. Okay, so I didn't have to wait until tomorrow. Oh gosh, it's been about 6 hours. These are already pretty cool. And every one of them did seal. This one still has a little tiny buckle, but it did pretty much seal, so I think it's going to be fine to put it onto the shelf. I'll show you the true test. I took off the ring And now, of course, the true test is picking it up. Ooh, it's heavy. By just the lid. And you can see that it does hold. All of them look beautiful. There's what you call fine looking maters. Okay, so there you have it. It is so easy and simple to do your canning of your whole tomatoes. Again, it's so easy to do these things. I hope that I encourage you to do it, because you can never be sustainable enough and never be prepared enough to have enough onto your pantry shelf for whatever may happen for the future. The future is always uncertain, as you may know, and it's best to be prepared for everything that we could possibly be prepared for. Not that we will always be prepared for everything that comes along, but we can always do our best to be prepared for what we can try to foresee just a little bit in the future. So I've already done one major load of dishes, as you can see. The only thing I have left to do now is to get my canning pot emptied and get it cooled down and put away. So as you may have seen, I have not added anything to the tomatoes. I always can tomatoes in their natural state. Many people will put a little bit of lemon juice in there. I don't do that. I don't do anything. I just can them in their natural state. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, so it will be put out there and YouTube will share it just a little bit more. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I love to watch these garden maters grow. So until next time, love y'all, take care, God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. I almost choked on that one, Shmoo. I gotta do it again. Don't wag your tail and get all wiggy in there. So until... Stop it, Shmoo. I can see you. Why don't you go downstairs with Tony? Be a good girl. Oh, that's not right either. See, you're goofing me up again.